It's time for the DeadCast.
It is I, Shaun Dead. This is the DeadCast. It's been, I don't know, 3 weeks since we've done one, and I can apologise, it's the most I can do, but we've been quite busy playing video games and doing other things as well. But, as always, I'm joined by my buddy old pal, Chris Sumner, if he's there.
Hello.
There he is. There you are, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good. I've been playing Bloodborne, so I'm very good.
I think that's what we've all been doing, really, haven't we? But there's a lot more to talk about Bloodborne as well, as because it has been nearly 3 weeks. There's quite a few games we're going to be covering, obviously. We're going to be talking about Battlefield Hardline and why you shouldn't even be bothered in buying it. And there's a few other games as well. But first,
and I think we wanted to talk about how terrible co-op is these days.
Yeah, co-op needs work, doesn't it? I mean, on Nintendo,
Do you want to start with that?
Yeah, we'll start with that because local co-op is been working well on the Nintendo platforms for a while, but when it comes to online co-op, there's always problems. And unfortunately, me and Chris, as much as we love Bloodborne, we came across a slight problem with the local co-op. In fact, the frame rate goes to absolute tit. It just drops significantly. It was like playing at 15 FPS or even lower at times. And also how hard it was just for us to join each other. It was
I mean, you have to, it's
long.
very cryptic. There's no hand-holding with Bloodborne in general, but you really have to look up guide after guide after guide on how to get the online working. Yeah. And that's just because the fans are such a committed fan base, they'll put that out there so everyone can work together. Yeah. But it took us working all of launch day to finally get a game together at like 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I mean, usually though, launch days are renowned for problems. There's always an issue on launch day, and it's just one of those things.
To be fair, I think the issue here was just with the design of the game.
Yeah, but they made it quite hard, but the thing is, people want to play with their friends, and especially in a game like Bloodborne, where you'd rather play with a friend in party so you can chat with them and try and talk of some tactics rather than just have some random person come in who may be completely useless to you. I mean, in Dark Souls, it wasn't really a thing, you know, there wasn't that co-op. You literally just had a random person who will come and join you and help you out.
It's kind of... That was part of it. It was kind of like Journey. You didn't know who they were, but you knew you were in it together.
Yeah. Yeah,
and you'd get through it and you wouldn't communicate.
That type of co-op is cool, though. That's cool, because it's almost as if in that world you will meet a stranger, and that stranger will help you. Because, like, just the other day, I think it was the 3 Shadow Lords, and I was getting my ass kicked by them constantly, so I thought, you know what, I'll ring my beckoning bell, see if anyone answered the call, and someone did, and me and him went to town on them, and it was so cool. And it was like, we both bowed to each other, and then he left. I was thinking, now that is amazing. But when it comes to playing,
I'm glad you found someone with the skill to support you. Because whenever you'd load me in, I found whenever you go into someone else's world, you're severely depowered. Yeah. And your health's so much lower. And I'd get killed in about 2 hits, and that was it. I mean, and we'd use time, and we'd use currency, the insight currency, which you don't get back. We'd wasted that.
Yeah, insight can get stolen, but there's many ways to gain it back. In fact, you can have too much insight at times, which I have the problem now, because the thing with insight, it changes the game. I mean, right, this is the thing. Of course, Bloodborne, right, it has so much depth to that game. There is so much going on. There is so much underlying its surface. It is, without a doubt, the best game on new gen. It's the best. This is one of those... Every now and then, you get a game where you talk about it for, like, in 10, 20 years. Do you remember that game? This is one of those games. For me, I think it's just...
Kind of like Oblivion was to last generation. Well, not Skyrim, Oblivion.
Yeah. How I remember Oblivion. How are you gonna remember? I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be on Super Mario levels of nostalgia, but I think Bloodborne is gonna be one of those PlayStation classics which will probably get remastered in another 5 or 6 years. The Bloodborne super duper 8-9K remaster.
Do you think we'll see the Hunter in PlayStation All-Stars 2?
The Hunter? May well, could happen. I don't know if they'd ever do another All-Stars game, but it could happen. But Bloodborne it's a big deal. I mean, I've got quite far in the game.
It is good fun. It's super fast-paced. Yeah. I'm still getting my ass kicked on it, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
it's unforgiving. It's super fast-paced.
What part are you up to at the moment?
Not to give too many spoilers away, but I just had a big fight inside the cathedral. With the lady who was there.
Oh!
And just two words for what I did after that. First word, gunner. Second word, revenge.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and it felt very sweet. And if you played that bit, you'll know what it is. If you haven't, it's not too bad a spoiler.
What type of build are you going for? Because Blood Tinge is something you want to use with your guns. Arcane?
I'm barely using the guns. I'm going all power. I just picked the big axe.
Yeah.
I tried using the big Kirk hammer, but that was a bit too slow. But big axe that can do big arcs and just put everything into strength.
That's funny, because it's funny, because when I watched gameplays of Bloodborne, I see everyone going around with a cleaver or the big axe, and I was like, I'm not playing it like that. I'm not doing that. I went with a whip. I went with a whip sword.
The whip cane.
Yeah, the whip cane. That was it. And I got along with it fine. And it's almost like it got me so far in the game, and then I came across this like great sword. It's like a normal sword and a great sword. And I've just been using that ever since because it's so powerful. But I discovered a little secret today, and this is worth sharing because they aren't the only weapons in the game. In fact, every main weapon has a variation which can be found in the labyrinths.
Chalice dungeons.
Yeah, in the Chalice dungeons you have a lost version and an uncanny version of the weapon.
Oh,
and
nice.
Apparently they're more powerful. And they can.
Let's talk about the weapon. I do love the idea of the trick weapons. Like, you hit L1 and you transform your weapon.
Well, I love
my
it how
axe is just a little hand axe, but then you can slide it open and it's a big two-handed one.
Yeah, but when you're in mid-combat, you can do it as an attack as well. So when I'm fighting with a great sword, I'll be fighting with a small sword, and then I'll press L1 during a combo, and he'll just whip out the great sword and slam it down. I'm just like, oh, this is so
It's all got a very nice flow to it.
Yeah.
It's all about rhythm and flow, this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's genius. It's just so good. And the thing is, critical acclaim, it's got 9s, 10s. I think the lowest to see was a 7. And it's been so well received. And it's funny, I saw an article on Forbes the other day, and I just shook my head in just disappointment at it, because it was like saying that the gaming journalism has failed because of the high ratings Bloodborne received, because they haven't taken into consideration that the game might be too hard for some. And I'm thinking,
get good.
Yeah, but freaking learn how to play it, 1, and 2, freaking millions and millions of people play games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, where you die constantly. Heck, you will die in Call of Duty and Battlefield more than you will in Bloodborne, without a doubt. And they're happy to do that, but Bloodborne scales them off.
Dying is From Software's legacy, really.
Yeah.
You don't play one of their games expecting you'll get all the way through it without dying.
Exactly. It's like, you know, I won't class myself as a hardcore gamer. I don't enter competitions and things like that. You know, I just play games, and Bloodborne I find is accessible. I think you've got to have a bit of time and patience. You can't just run around. Honestly, I don't know what, unless you're a complete idiot, I can't see how Bloodborne won't appeal to you, because there are things about that game that once you get into it, you will enjoy it, and it will give you a challenge. I mean, if gamers want today something you could just generally walk, almost like the Order level, just walk from A to B, and win the game. There's no challenge there. There's no excitement. Of course, there's a story, but I can't see why someone would say, "Oh, it's not on," because casual gamers aren't being warned how difficult a game is. And I think
speaking of the Order,
ridiculous.
Yeah. Speaking of the Order, that's still £2 more expensive than Bloodborne was for me on launch day.
Yeah.
I got it for £46, which I thought was quite a good price because I was seeing 50s everywhere.
Yeah.
And the order was still 48, and I'm going to get a hell of a lot more out of Bloodborne. I know that. I mean, it just looks so good. Everything's so well designed in the world and the enemies.
I wish all AAA games was the quality of Bloodborne, but the thing is, someone said to me, well, if there were, you won't get shining games like this. And this stands out. This stands out. Well, it's the best, without a doubt, it's the best game on new gen, on any platform. I don't think anything comes close to Bloodborne at the moment. And
the fact that it's an exclusive is a great boost for Sony.
But what's crazy?
It's not too great for people who don't have a PlayStation 4, if they've only got PlayStation 3 or if they've got an Xbox One. Yeah, sucks for them.
It's the first console selling. Fanboys. I think it's the first console selling exclusive. This is what we bought a PS4 for. PS4
are you forgetting the Master Chief Collection?
No, that is not it. Freaking hell, I could play them on last gen, but apart from Halo 2 because the servers got shut down. But still, it's it's no close. I mean, in terms of console selling games, Halo 5 is it Halo 5 or Halo? Yeah, Halo 5 might do it, depending. But I have I think that candle's gone for Halo now. Ever since Bungie left and 343 took over, because Halo 4, I'd rather play Destiny till death than play Halo 4 again. That's because it was just crap. I'm sorry, it was rubbish. Quick time event to beat the game. I'll piss off. I ain't got time for that. And that's the thing. No quick time events in Bloodborne. Just not one quick time event. But
surprisingly, a few more cutscenes than I was expecting compared to older games like Dark Souls. How do you think it compares to like Dark Souls and Demon Souls?
Well, when I played Demon Souls, I did not know what the hell was going on. I couldn't get into that at all. Dark Souls, I got into and I got really far. Then it started costing me about 90,000 souls to level up. And I still didn't feel like I could do what I needed to do, so I kind of just gave up on it. And I think I just didn't like the whole tortoise gameplay, hiding behind a shield,
very much
striking out.
Be slow, put on a big suit of armour.
Because the way I was playing was stripping myself of armour so I could actually move around and attack. And that's how I beat most of the bosses in that game. So you could say how Bloodborne suits the style.
So you were going for speed, which Bloodborne is built for.
Yeah. Bloodborne's definitely built for speed, but Dark Souls 2 I've never played, so I might pick up the remaster, I might not, we'll have to see.
I'd recommend it. The thing is, I played and completed both Dark Souls games, and I really enjoyed both of them. The only one I never got to play was Demon Souls, which is a shame, because I hear that's the one that Bloodborne's most closely related to.
Alright.
But I love that Bloodborne's it's got the similar feel, it's got a similar world, but it's changed things up with a new style of gameplay. The attack, go on the offensive, get your health back if you get hit, always be attacking mentality of it.
Yeah.
But I hope that's what Bloodborne does, and I hope if they make any more Souls games, they are still very much, you are in the suit of armour, you have got the shield, and you do everything slow and deliberately, because I did like that.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that this has got its own flavour. To be honest, I think just because of my personal taste, I liked the kind of old school medieval world a bit more of Dark Souls. But to be fair, I've completed 2 Dark Souls games, and in Bloodborne I've only just got out the city, so I think there's a lot more world for me to see.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I like... it's funny, because I like the Victorian style look compared to the old castles and stuff. And the design in Bloodborne, the world you come... There's one room I walked in, it was just full of all these weeping statues. Yes. And then there was another
The enemy
area.
Designs are great.
Oh, the enemy design... There's so many unique enemies you fight.
But if I were to say Wolfman to you, that could describe about 7 different enemies. You get this really nice progression where you see these people growing more cursed and more rabid and more animal-like, and that's just one enemy class.
Yeah. Not that. What happens to the civilization, the people, the other NPCs around you, and what becomes of them as it progresses. I was telling you about the little girl, because we got 2 different versions of that outcome, where I gave her an amulet and you used the amulet
I Oh, yeah, she just wanted to find her mum, and she said her mum's got a red, shiny amulet, and we both found it, and you returned it to the little girl, and I cracked open the amulet to get the Power Stone out of it to use for myself.
Yeah. And
so I was selfish, and you were generous.
And that's the thing that you could do, but that little side quest has a story that runs throughout the game. And later on, you find the fate of that little girl. I mean, it's not much of a spoiler because I think a lot of people know about this now. But I think it's just I want to make a point of how deep and amazing this game is.
And this is one very minor side quest, so I think you can talk about it.
Extremely minor, where you end up going into the sewer and you fight a pig and you find a red ribbon that your little minions are quite fond of, and you're like, all right, then, fine, red ribbon. And later on, you carry on, and you go back to the house, and there's a little boy there, and he's saying his sister's gone. You can't find his sister, and it says hand over the red ribbon, and then it clicks that little girl got eaten by the sewer pig. And then you're like, oh man!
When she was looking for her mother, who's already dead.
Yeah, or I think she's trying to find somewhere safe. I don't know, but you hand him it, and he starts saying, "Oh, you can hear him saying it's so pretty." And stuff like that. He's kind of gone mad. And then a little bit later, you find him dead on the floor next to one of the trolls, dressed as a woman. And it's just what is going on in this game?
If you just run past the doors and don't talk to anyone, you'll miss all this. That's always one of the best things about the From Software games. They don't force feed you the story. If you just want the action and the gameplay, you can do that.
Yeah.
If you want to explore all the world, read all the item descriptions. There's such a rich lore to all of it.
It's done so well. It's most of it is a genius. The only downside to this game is the frame rate and co-op, and and loading times apparently a little bit too long. But for me, it gives me a chance to calm down.
Yeah,
after dying, I'm like, just lost fucking 100k echoes, and I'm getting angry, and having the loading screens just chill the hell out, man. We'll get
the
you back
loading
into this
screens,
game.
I don't mind the loading screens when I die. But when you want to teleport to the hub world so you can teleport to another area, you have to get two of them back to back, which is a bit frustrating. Whereas in Dark Souls you could warp from one bonfire to another. But to be fair, I think we're all just a bit spoilt and a bit entitled these days. Because you remember back on the PS1 days and the PS2 days, loading screens were always there and they were always longer than this.
Yeah.
So we're just living in luxury, the fact that we complain about loading screens these days.
Here's an interesting thing. Interactive loading screens may be making a comeback in a few years. A long time ago, if you remember Tekken, right?
Yeah.
Tekken had Space Invaders, and that was actually a loading screen, right? And then something happened where there was some kind of rule that became a thing where all loading screens had to
have some kind of motion to them.
Yeah. But not
something has to be moving.
Not a mini game, and so all those mini game loading screens died out because apparently they was quite popular back in the day. But since then, and then that ends. I think that ends this year or last year. So we could see them coming back again, having mini games as loading screens.
I can see people like Nintendo really going crazy with that.
Yeah, I mean, where's
they've got to work on something. They've delayed Zelda.
Yeah, we'll get to Nintendo later. But where it comes to Bloodborne, it just gives you Bloodborne, black screen, which, if you're making a video, bloody brilliant transition. But it's there's no tips, there's no hints.
Never.
And this is the thing with Bloodborne, right? This is why I love the game. Why I love it so much is because you have to discover things for yourself, because I'm sick to death of it now these days, of countless tutorials. Here, don't know what part of enemy to attack, here's a big glowing icon because you're too stupid to figure it out for yourself.
Figure it out yourself. Here, have detective vision.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you now, I can understand in certain games, maybe Batman, fair enough, detective vision probably comes in.
But Lara Croft didn't need detective vision. That was very hand-holdy.
Assassin's Creed, Eagle Vision, don't know what to do. You light it up. There's these great big two golden braziers you need to light. That's what you need. This is what's problem. This is why a lot of gamers have become soft, because there's so many games that treat you as if you've never played an FPS before, as if you've never played... so
Bloodborne's,
enraging.
oh, you don't know where to go? Figure it out.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're not going to get £40 out of your game. You're just going to get £2 out of it and get stuck.
Yeah, like, it's literally, it just pats you on the back and says, good luck. Like, I can't
It doesn't,
remember.
no, it doesn't even do that. It kicks you out the door and doesn't give you a weapon and says, fend for yourself.
It does, doesn't it? It does literally do that. But yeah, like,
it's like there's this quick family story. My granddad learnt to swim because his dad just chucked him in the canal and said, "Learn to swim."
wow.
And that's what Bloodborne is.
Yeah, survival of the fittest. I mean, because like, I can't remember an FPS I've played recently that didn't have a tutorial. I know how to shoot. Just say Call of Duty go controls. Here you go, because that's all you need really. And this is the problem with gaming today. There's too much handholding. There's not enough saying, here you go, try and figure it out for yourself, and then encouraging a community to communicate to each other about the secrets and the lore and the things going on in this game, because that's what Bloodborne encourages. That's what PT encouraged. And these are the games that we need more of. There's too much handholding, too much help, and all this that goes in games. And some of it fine. Some of it I can understand if it's for children. But if it's aimed at people over 18, we should be clever enough and intelligent enough to understand how to beat a boss without a glowing pissing icon. Dan freaking drops the mic and walks out the room.
No, talking about it being for over 18s and comparing it to PT, you did actually confess to me you found it really creepy and scary at first. There is quite a horror element to it.
There is a horror element to Bloodborne, and everyone gets different fears. My fear in this was like, what the hell is that? I don't want to go near it. And even though I'm a hunter, I'm a badass, I knew I could die, and I didn't want to get killed by these creatures. And some of the bosses...
It's very good with sound design. You can hear them breathing or stalking you.
Breathing, the screeches... And at times, it did feel like I was playing a survival horror. It really did. But now, I'm literally going around just slashing away, just getting as many echoes as I can to level up. So it's funny how that game's evolved and changed during how I've played it and how I treat each enemy.
To be fair, I think if you let the fear in and you let yourself get scared, you get careless and you'll never get beyond that. It kind of pushes you to go past the fear.
Yeah.
And survive it.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. Absolutely bloody brilliant, Bloodborne. So yeah,
would you recommend it?
I would. It gets my seal of approval. If it wasn't for the frame rate and the issues with the co-op, this would be a 10 out of 10 game for me. Literally, if they can fix the co-op, if they can fix the frame rate, it's 10 out of 10. Must buy.
It's certainly high up there, 8 or 9 already.
Yeah, definitely.
And we've not even got into New Game Plus yet, where it gets harder.
Yeah, where the true challenge comes, as I keep calling it. Because I've done really well. Like, I've only died once on Father Gascoigne? I don't know how you pronounce his name. And
the second boss,
the Canehurst Manor Lord. I got killed by him a few times.
I've been killed so many times. I've been killed so many times, but I've learned from it.
Yeah, I got killed by the 3 Shadow Lords as well, because I was overwhelmed by them, and literally, like I said, rang the beckoning bell, and it felt so good. But yeah, that's enough of Bloodborne anyway. Seriously, if you haven't got it, go out and buy it. If you're listening to this and don't own a PS4, it's about time you pick up one. So anyway...
I'm sure we'll probably still be talking about it in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Well, God, I'll be doing plenty of videos, so keep an eye on the channel to see what I've been up to.
Yeah, you've got your review in progress up as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a review in progress. This is going to probably take me another week to get a full review done, but it'll be worth it, I think, because I'm just loving it so much. But yeah. Anyway, on to Nintendo, as you brought up earlier. Nintendo. You know, I've got a love-hate.
Nintendo.
I've got a love-hate relationship with Nintendo these days.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was all but praises. Back in the days of the N64, the GameCube, and the SNES, they were the days. Now, after the Wii, this Wii U, I tell you now, a part of me, I don't regret buying it because I've enjoyed playing Mario Kart and Smash Bros. 3D World was alright. Bayonetta 2 was pretty good. But the problem is that with them delaying Zelda till next year, I can't see what other games this year I'm really going to be that bothered about. Like,
yeah, but the only other things they've got slated are like Splatoon and Star Fox.
Splatoon, Star Fox, and then you got Yoshi's Woolly World and Kirby, and then Xenoblade Chronicles, which look pretty cool. But with Splatoon, I can't see how that's going to be successful on a Wii U, because it's an online-focused game. There needs to be a large community there to support it, so when you come back in a couple of months, there's people going to still be playing it, and I just don't see that happening on the Wii U. A lot of people are primarily focused on, single-player like games rather than multiplayer. I mean, like, when you think of the Wii U, you don't think of multiplayer experiences. You think of single player experiences.
And if you do, you think of it as couch co-op, local co-op.
Yeah, exactly.
Have your friends around to play Smash Brothers. Have your friends around to play Mario Kart.
Yeah, and I think Nintendo know that infrastructure's not really there for solid online stuff. But Splatoon may change that. I could be wrong, but I look
and
at it, it's
Mario
quite
Party's
colourful.
not been doing too well.
Yeah, Mario Kart Online. I mean, because the problem is...
No, Mario Party. Party just came out 10.
Mario Party's died on its arse. Apparently, it's been met with really bad reviews. There's no online, so you can't actually have a party with friends across the world. And it's just
Sean,
it's 2015.
If you buy amiibos, and it'll be like you have friends.
Do you know what? Fuck amiibos. Seriously. Fuck amiibos. Like, it's just Skylanders with Mario characters. It's... And I'm fine. If you're 10, fine, right? I mean, there's probably people in their 40s collecting these things, and you want to do that. That's fine, because I've just spent God knows how much money on old bear stuffed animals, so I'm not fussed about that. But they're going to be actually worth something in years to come. These aren't.
Yeah. And the thing was, they're already appreciating value because you can't get half of them. You can't get Zelda anymore.
Yeah,
but she's already like doubling, tripling in price.
Yeah, but that's Nintendo, right? Nintendo artificially making them rare. They did this with the Wii U, right? What Nintendo did was they had so many Wii U's in retail is that they'd sell out really quick, and more people would want them, and they generated that want for the Wii. Not the Wii U, the Wii. And that's what they did, and they artificially did it. Like during Christmas, we're not going to get certain amiibos. It was people buying amiibos for like 40 quid on eBay after Christmas. Oh, they're all on sale again. It's like, fuck you, Nintendo. Honestly, and it's a YouTube thing. Like you can't put Nintendo gameplay on your channel unless you're partnered with Nintendo. Fuck you, Nintendo. If you think there's so much things I like about it, but they just keep... It's almost like they're living in the past too much. They're not looking forward to the future. I spend more time on my PS4 than I do with Nintendo.
I'm certainly living in the past. I'm still playing Ocarina of Time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's one of the greatest games of all time. Without doubt. Ocarina of Time is one of the greatest games of all time.
They just need to remember what they did.
But they just seem to be stuck in this thing. I mean, 3DS has got the best damn support. That's, without a doubt, it's the best handheld. As much as I love my Vita, 3DS is doing really well for itself. And when it comes to this NX...
They are looking to the future.
What's
that? They are looking to the future. Nintendo, with their move to mobile gaming.
Yeah, there you go. Freaking Mario free-to-play. Yeah, fuck. I just think that's just... I mean, fine, but it's probably too little too late. I just don't know. I mean, when it comes to mobile gaming, people prefer playing Candy Crush and crap like that than they do Nintendo games. I mean, you can get an emulator anyway. I've been playing Nintendo games on my mobile and my tablet for freaking years now.
And the thing is, when you see any of these games that have been ported to smartphones or tablets, like there's been a few Sonic ones.
Yeah.
Sonic Jump or the Sonic Rush, they always feel flat.
Yeah. And, see, like I said, with Nintendo, they need to... The problem with it is the lack of third-party support. And a lot of Nintendo fanboys will be like, oh, that's no problem, we're not missing out on anything, we got Mario. No, right? You are missing out because there's some cracking third-party games that are not even touching that platform.
Yeah, like Plants vs. Zombies we discussed last night would be perfect for it. It's colourful, it's friendly, and it would add that sense of online community that might help something further down the line like Splatoon.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed... What was it? Not Assassin's Creed Unity, maybe, but the one before it. That wasn't even released on Nintendo. Black Flag was. And I'm thinking it's like this lack of third-party support. I mean, Mortal Kombat 10's out soon. You know, they ain't got a decent fighting game like that. I mean, Smash Bros is all right, but
it's very different.
I'd rather play Mortal Kombat 10 than Smash Bros. And that if you own just a Wii U, you're missing out on a lot of games. Honestly, I couldn't just own that console on its own. I'd need to own a second console, or in my circumstance, the Wii U is my second console. And it's just that reason. There's no third-party support. When you go on a Nintendo store, there's barely anything new out ever. Like PS4 are getting so many great indie games. I go on to see what indie games are exclusive for the Wii U, and there's literally like one a month or something. It's just ridiculous. Even then, like
we get one a month for free.
Yeah, exactly. We get so many indies that are coming out, and I love the indie games. Some people hate them. I'll get to that in a bit as well. Good God, this is this DeadCast, right? This is on fire. We're on fire. I'm on fire. Chris is like, holy shit.
Let's put that out.
Yeah, we need to put that out. But yeah, with Nintendo, it is. I'm on love-hate. I mean, you was thinking of getting a Wii U, wasn't you? You was almost considering
I was thinking of getting it before the PlayStation 4, but like you said, without the third-party stuff, you feel like you're missing out on so much of gaming. And if money, was better at the moment, I'm between jobs at the moment, so my funds are just plummeting. I'd love to get one, but there's not enough there. And when you do get the big games like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, it something's missing if you don't have all your friends around and they can't get round. So you feel like you bought a board game and you can't really do much with it on your own. You need other people around.
Monopoly isn't fun
Nintendo's
to play
just a very
on your
big
own.
board game. No.
Yeah. That's hit the nail on the head, really.
There's a few things I'm excited by. I mean, I want to play Hyrule Warriors. I want to play Wind Waker HD. And I want to play Super Mario 3D World. But it seems like a lot of money to spend on this console, considering they're thinking of scrapping it soon as well. Yeah. It's going to be defunct soon, so why not wait for them to announce something else and wait for the price to plummet?
See, what is this NX? It makes me wonder what it's going to be. A lot of people think it's going to be some kind of handheld device that clips onto your TV. Is it going to be a brand new, powerful console that will have backwards compatibility?
I think they're making most of the money from handhelds these days, aren't they?
It does wonder. And like a while ago, I see a Nintendo advert, and the controller tablet that she was using was a thinner, slimmer, more streamlined version of it. And it probably had a better screen as well. And I was thinking, why haven't they done that? Why haven't they released a better tablet for that console? Because it is very bulky. It's quite big.
Well, that's the thing. I'm hoping to get the second version of the Wii U. If they bring out a slimmer version, or if they bring out a special Zelda edition when that comes out. I'm waiting to see if they make any innovations on it.
Because Zelda was going to be the game that was going to sell consoles this year. That was going to be... I mean, it's funny because, like, Uncharted 4 has been pushed back to 2016, and so Zelda has as well. And it's like, they're, literally, for the two platforms, they are big games. Real big.
And everything's getting pushed back these days. Like, whoever's doing the schedule isn't very good at it, because all the system sales that were meant to sell games at Christmas, like Batman and Bloodborne, were pushed back.
Yeah, Order was. There's so many games that keep getting pushed back, and I think it's just because games are more demanding now than they were in the 90s. And that's the truth. Games have bigger budgets than they did in the 90s. Gamers are demanding more than what they did in the 90s.
And the companies are expecting to see bigger profits, so they want to make sure it's right before they put it out the door.
Yeah, and that's why I love indie games, because they tie you over. They keep you, it gives you something interesting to play.
Yeah.
This April's PS Plus games have been announced. I'm quite excited. We got across the board. We got, I think, Tower of Guns, which looks absolutely mental. You got Never
looks like
Alone.
a bullet hell Portal.
Yeah, like a bullet. Yeah, good comparison.
I'm good with analogies.
Analogies. Yeah, you're the analogy man.
I'm the analogist.
Analogist. We've got Never Alone, which is about the fox, and
that looks like the one that I want.
Arctic Fox. It won a BAFTA, that game. So
that's the thing. Whenever the PlayStation Plus games come out, if there's 3 or 4 of them, there's usually only about one that I'm actually willing to try. But that seems to be the one that's got my attention.
Yeah, same. I nearly bought it a few times, but I figured this might happen, and it has. PS Vita has got a crack. Killzone Mercenary on PS Plus. That's a must-own Vita game, and there's also this other crazy one which may be cross-buy. You always have to keep an eye on certain games because they can be cross-buy, where you might end up with more than 2 on the PS4, and then PS3's got Dishonored and another game as well. And so, for one membership across the board, that's cracking. Now, this is a thing I want to address right now. There's a lot of people complaining about the indies. I mean, if it's entitlement, I don't know. So many people bitch and moan about indies being on PS Plus or PS4. And I'm just thinking, the Classroom's not real games. The thing, I read comments on Facebook and that, and I'm thinking, is that no wonder people think gamers are freaking idiots when you've got people talking shit like this. They're 2 good-looking games. They look fun. They're interesting. They're both going to.
The thing is, they can't offer too much for the PS4 at the moment because there isn't that much for it. Indie games are things that they can get quickly and secure a license for and secure an agreement to put them out for free for a month.
I mean, these people are idiots.
With the PS3, you can go back and do stuff like what did you say it is this month? Dishonored. Yeah, because that's had its run, and it'll get a bit of a jolt back to life. And it was designed for the last generation. It wasn't designed for the new one.
I mean, it's laughable because they're all say, "Oh, why don't they give us Killzone Shadowfall or Knack or blah blah blah?" And I'm thinking, well, one, Knack ain't very good, so you're not going to want Knack even if it was free. Yeah. That's the truth. And Killzone Shadowfall,
and they still want to squeeze every penny they can out of it. You can pick it up for a £5. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a new experience than a freaking old, and that's why I like the PS4, because every month is all more or less a new indie that I can play and chill out and enjoy. And sometimes you want a short game.
Yeah, sometimes you do want a short game.
Bloodborne looks like it's going to take me forever, and whilst I'm playing Bloodborne, I'm neglecting Zelda, which I know will take me forever. So sometimes you just want something short. Sometimes you want a little episodic game. They've been doing quite well. We've got Resident Evil doing well. Life is Strange Episode 2 came out. Game of Thrones Episode 3 came out. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, this just cracking games, and sometimes it's the smaller games that are the really good ones, the gems, the hidden gems. And I think due to people's stupidity, they miss out on quality games.
But when we say smaller, shorter games, we want a smaller, shorter price tag as well, not like The Order, which is more expensive than Bloodborne.
Yeah. Just another news flash. PlayStation TV, this little tiny device that lets you play Vita games on your TV and stream your PS4 to another TV, has had a price cut. It's now £45 rather than $90. Mm-hmm. So that's a device I've been looking at. For £45, I think it's worth picking up. And like I said, lets you play your Vita games on your telly, lets you stream your PS4 to another TV, and it fits in your pocket. So if you want to take it around a mate's house, you can do that. So that's some recent news.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I just want Microsoft to do something, pull something out the bag, so they can be the underdog and come back.
See, it's funny because we don't really talk about Xbox much.
No, I mean, I try not to seem too biased. I mean, I want it to do something well. Yeah. But then when you hear Titanfall 2, Titanfall was their big exclusive. Titanfall 2 is going to be cross-platform.
Of course,
they're jumping ship.
Yeah, EA realised they released it on the wrong console. I think, and people are going to be like up in arms with that, but it's true, because what was the console that sold twice as many? And if they had released Titanfall on the PS4, their sales would have
sold even more.
Yeah, it would have sold way more. And I think it was just a poor call. I mean, the Xbox looked like it was going to be a console that was going to blow us all away.
TV.
And now, TV, sports. It's just, I never forget that presentation. Oh my days, that was just terrible. And it was like, well, where are they going? And they need to nail the next console. They need to get it right, because it's just not doing things well enough. I mean, I don't know what it is. I just don't get it. And
they need some new properties as well. They need some new properties. They need more than just Master Chief. I mean, they're going to have Lara Croft to Rise of the Tomb Raider as a timed exclusive, but she's still a character that everyone associates with PlayStation. And when it eventually gets released on PlayStation, it'll probably be a deluxe edition, and you'll probably get more bang for your buck out of it.
Probably will. Yeah, we probably will get the best edition of it with all the DLC, and it'll probably be. I mean, it's one of those things where if I was going to play a game and someone said that game is 720p, that game's 1080p, I'm going to play the 1080p one, And
plus, PlayStation keeps doing these other weird creative things like SharePlay. We got to SharePlay Helldivers.
Yeah,
it was great.
Well, I'm going to SharePlay Bloodborne. I'm going to share Bloodborne with my brother so he can see what it's like. I did it with the Order 886. He said it was amazing. He's going to buy it, and that's the future right there. You're not sure if your friend's got a game and you're not sure if it's any good. You could just share play it, and that's freaking amazing. I think that's really bloody cool.
There's two ways to do it. A, you can just go in a party and click share play, and you can just watch what your friends play, and you can just essentially watch their screen, just kind of stream it. Or if it's got a multiplayer component like Helldivers is, I was playing. I didn't own the game. I didn't buy the game. I didn't download anything for it.
As far as I know,
I jumped into your world and played it.
As far as I know, we can do that. You can do that on Borderlands as well. You can actually split screen
Excellent.
co-op.
Borderlands. I mean, like you say, the money's low at the moment. But Borderlands is the thing I want next. It's got 4-player couch co-op, but it's also going to have complete 4-player online. It'll probably have share play in there as well, if you don't know if you want to buy it or not. And it's going to be just a goofy sci-fi shooter, which is something that I feel's missing from my PS4 collection. Destiny took itself too seriously.
Yeah, it did. It's just like, Destiny, what a letdown.
And it wants money out of you constantly. It's like, here's another DLC pack, buy it. Whereas Borderlands, it's got 20 DLC packs just in it for free, because they were all released last gen.
£100 worth of DLC, which is quite substantial. There's a lot to do
and a whole
game.
Extra game as well.
Yeah, pre-sequel as well. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that's in there.
And the fact that the Borderlands property seems just to keep getting bigger and bigger, because they've got Tales from Borderlands still being released episodically. So I think it'll definitely be something to pick up.
Yeah.
When the money's there.
Same here. I'll be looking at that in the future. Also, God of War 3. God of War 3 is coming to PS4 in June. I don't think I've even spoke about this very much, but I cannot wait. Now, I know people moan about remasters. I know they moan about remasters.
I can't wait either.
Go on, tell us why you can't wait, Chris.
I always complain. I love PlayStation, but there's so many things that were only released on the PS3, and I didn't have one. I had a 360, and I want things to get re-released because it's my first chance to play them. I played all the Metal Gear Solids up to 3. I was never able to play 4 because it was only on the PS3. I'm glad The Last of Us got re-released because I wouldn't have been able to play it. I've never played any of the Uncharted games, and they're supposed to be fantastic, and I want to play them so badly, but they're only on the PS3. And I don't have the money to go out and buy a PS3 when I could save it for something like a Wii U.
Exactly. There you go. And that's why we have remasters, ladies and gentlemen.
Because and I'm happy about it. I mean, obviously you don't want to just see remasters out there.
No.
But I welcome them.
I welcome them, and this is the way I see it, right? People are, oh my god. I mean, again, stupid people that you just want to slap. And they're like, oh, it's the remaster Station 4. Okay then, how many exclusives have been remastered on the PS4? 1? Yeah, The Last of Us. How many third-party publishers have released remasters? Yeah, there's freaking loads. So that's not Sony's problem. They're on both freaking platforms. I mean, how... thing can you get? And of course, there are a couple of digital games, but keep in mind, they're cross-buy, so you get more on all platforms anyway, like Flower and Flow and, numerous other games like that. So, again, it's still, thingy ground. And where God of War, it's not only that, it's one of the best, most visceral, brutal games I've ever played on PS3, and they're going to remaster it, update the visuals, because that game was stunning when I played on PS3.
Yeah, I mean... a few years ago, about 2 years ago, a friend just gave me his old PS2, and I had a really nice retro phase, kind of like I'm having now with my original Wii, which I was given, again, by someone else. I just don't buy consoles, people give them me. which is nice. But I played God of War 1 and God of War 2, and I absolutely loved them. And I wish I could have gone on to 3, because I heard, it's all the combat you love, but it looks great.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I'll finally be able to get to play it, and it'll look even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most epic games I've ever played, and so brutal. It's just so good. And honestly, I can't understand why people moan so much, because it's not down to Microsoft or Sony. Microsoft have released the Master Chief Collection. I think that was their main remaster. Sony have released The Last of Us, which is their main remaster, and the rest of them are all third-party publishers. And they're the problem. We never asked for a Devil May Cry HD remake of the original or 4. I don't think anyone's asked for that. Metro 2033 or whatever, didn't really ask for that.
Here, have Resident Evil 1 again.
Yeah. Well, the first Resident Evil from the GameCube. Now that was something I think we've all been asking for.
Resident Evil's a fantastic game, but how many different versions of it are out there?
I know
You can get the original one on the PlayStation. You can get the ported original to the DS. You can get the GameCube remake. You can get the now HD remake of the GameCube remake. And it's a fantastic game, and I love it. But stop pumping it out.
I think that was worthwhile. That's a worthwhile
remake 2.
I know, remake 2. That's what we are. I know. Hopefully they're doing that. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it is the third-party publishers. They're the ones that are doing all the remasters and re-releases, like Sleeping Dogs. No one really asked for that. I picked it up because it was dirt cheap, and I never played it. But did we really need that? Did we need that game? And that's
you said you enjoyed it, but I know I've got it sitting on my Xbox hard drive because that was a game with gold that I got for free. It's just one of those things. Like I said, it's not Sony's problem. It's not Microsoft's problem. If you got a problem with remasters, it's the third-party publishers. I welcome exclusive remasters. I'd love to see Heavy Rain remastered. I'd love to see. I'd like to see Onimusha Trilogy remastered. Journey needs to come to PS4 because that was just an all-time classic. Certain games like that need to be remastered, and that's what I'd like to see. Even Metal Gear Solid 4, but sadly Hideo Kojima seems to be leaving Konami, which is a big blow. I don't exactly know what's going on with that. The thing is, once he leaves, the creative guy with the integrity leaves, the company might just turn it over to the suits and they'll be like, re-release everything, remaster everything.
They could
So I might get what I want, but in the worst way possible.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, sometimes something bad. I mean, because like I said, Metal Gear Solid 4, please. I actually freaked out once because I thought it was coming to the PS4, but it was actually just being re-released on PS3 as a digital download, and that really made me upset because
I want it. Honestly, like I say, I've played all the others up till then.
Yeah,
and I know the stupid, convoluted history of that universe. If you can claim to know it, but I just haven't known this big final chapter of 4.
Yeah, 4 is a classic, and with them releasing, we've got Ground Zeroes and is it called? I can't even remember what it's called. The new Metal Gear, because Ground Zeroes was the prequel. Phantom Pain is the main game. With that coming, they've got to do MGS4 as a remaster or something like that because it is it'd be
brilliant marketing for them.
Yeah. And I'm also a little bit worried about PT. Well, not PT, Silent Hills, because if Kojima's not working on that anymore, that could hold it back a bit.
Don't worry, we've still got Guillermo del Toro making sure that's good.
Well, yeah, but I think Kojima probably had more of a hand in than del Toro. But still, let's just hope they stick to the first-person stuff, because Konami, the last few Silent Hills games have been shite. There's no ways about it.
They've just been made in a factory, just pushed out on the conveyor belt.
Exactly. We've got to have a Silent Hills game out this year. Shit one out. It shouldn't be like that. What PT represented was a game that's going to scare people, and that's what Silent Hills should be. And if they differentiate from that, then they're just shooting themselves in the foot with a shotgun. It's just stupid. Yeah. So they better. I hope Kojima has some kind of input on that game. Because he is amazing. Apart from Metal Gear Solid 2, which was absolute piss, the rest of them are pretty damn good. So, Metal Gear Solid 2 was a bit shit. A game that made you think you was going to play a snake and you ended up playing some tosspot called Raiden. It was just Fuck that game, honestly. I'll never forget when me and my brother...
I really enjoyed the game, but you would have enjoyed it more as Snake.
Well, yeah, but me and my brother, right? I remember we bought it, I went round this, was all ready, we'll put it on, we answered these stupid fucking questions at the beginning, and we ended up playing as Raiden. It skipped the entire tanker chapter. It's like, have you played Metal Gear before? Yeah. Have you done this? Yeah. Straight to Raiden's story. We don't want to play. I never felt so trolled in my life. Me and him was about to take the game back because we thought, this is bullshit.
But the brilliant thing is, I remember the Snake tanker section was the demo that they released, like in like official PlayStation magazine, where you got the little demo disc with it. You could have that entire chapter. So I'm glad that was out there. Even if you didn't want to play as Raiden, you could just buy a cheap demo disc and have the entire Snake bit.
Yeah. I mean, I know he wanted to see Snake in a different light, but Raiden was just such a shite character. I mean, sure, he gets called in Metal Gear Solid 4, but to be honest, I'd preferred him to be always like that, and I'd rather have played Snake. I mean, Kojima managed to rebuild it with Metal Gear Solid 3 and MGS4. They're substantially better games, but MGS2 was just a freaking... it was just shite. I just didn't like that game. I really didn't. I mean, I liked every bit with Snake. Hate every bit of Raiden. And unfortunately,
he was a vampire slayer.
He was a vampire slayer. He was a dick. Freaking Raiden.
He was
running
Buffy.
around naked. Stupid freaking idea that was. So yeah. Anyway.
Cartwheels, naked cartwheels.
Oh God.
Look it up if you don't know what we're talking about.
Oh no, it's just. I've got it remastered on the Vita as well. I've got MGS2
Oh, so you
3.
can enjoy it all the time. You can always play as Raiden wherever you go.
Unfortunately, I mean, he even had a bit in the Metal Gear Solid 3 where when he was on the helicopter, he had a Raiden mask on, and then he takes it off, and it's just like, he clearly knew it pissed off fans. Kojima clearly knew it pissed off fans. It's like David Hayter when he didn't get him back to voice Snake and got fucking Kiefer Sutherland. Like, freaking
no, because it's not Snake, it's Big Boss.
Oh, Big Boss, whatever. There's no personality in his voice. It's like it's like if concrete could talk. That's what it sounds like. And not even in a cool way.
That sounds like a great title for an autobiography.
If concrete could talk, but that
the
could be
Stallone story.
Stallone story, yeah. I mean, in a way, that does sound pretty cool. Probably bigged it up too much, but I've ruined it now. But yeah, I'm just not fond of Kiefer's voice. I have always preferred Hayter, and even though it's Big Boss and not Snake, I just still preferred David Hayter's voice. It's that very nice. But yes, or just get Kurt Russell. Just to do the voice. I'm sure he would have loved to have done it.
Stop pretending it's Kurt Russell and get real Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Stop pretending get him real in and freaking get that done. I'd have been happy. But yeah, I'm not over fond of Kiefer Sutherland. It almost felt like it was a big slap in the face to Hayter as well, because the way they handled it wasn't very well done. But we'll have to see, because they said there may be some Hayter voice files in the game, and
it might just be a massive smoke screen.
Could be. I mean, like I said, Big Boss probably dies in the first 5 minutes of the game, and you end up playing the rest of it as Snake. I mean, we don't know, do we?
Play as Baby Raiden.
Baby Raiden.
Metal Gear Babies.
Oh dear. Anyway, it's another flicking Metal Gear. Metal Geared out at the moment. Let's talk about another game we're quite excited about, though. Because we're coming to the end of the podcast, but there's one game me and Chris are looking forward to, aren't we, Chris?
Yes, do tell.
Do tell. Yeah, you have no idea. Mortal Kombat 10.
Yes, I know it's something you've always been into. It's something I grew up with, playing Mortal Kombat 2 especially. I like the way they're selling it. I like the way they're marketing it with the reveal trailers. Yeah.
I think... Because it's funny, because when we did our Predator Legacycast, if you haven't listened to Legacycast, it's on YouTube. What's it called, the channel?
Legacycast.
Just Legacycast.
YouTube's stupid. Just type in Google Legacycast.
Righto, and it'll come up, and you'll have to listen to me and Chris talk about Predator. And we was just talking about how the Predator has grown and been into so many forms of media. Yeah, he was as an icon. He was in the last Call of Duty game, and he's been in this. And now he's going to be in Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah, the day after I put up the video, I'm sure Sean will have a link in the description or something. Talking about how great it was, and we talked about Predator's had all this stuff in film, he's had books, he's had comics, he's had video games, and probably the biggest thing he's done in video games is they put him in Call of Duty. What a tip of the hat, what a great achievement to be in the video game world, and then the next day, oh yeah, he's in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it's crazy, it was crazy. And not only that, there's a new skin for Jax as well, isn't there?
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Dylan, you son of a bitch. Big muscles pumping out, freaking love it.
I heard the clap, I heard the hand slap.
Yeah. They're doing that, and I think it's really cool because I think what Ed Boon was saying is he's the creative director of MNK. He said the Predator will mimic, or when each person comes in, they kind of bounce off each other with lines. So the Predator's probably going to try and imitate each character.
Anytime.
Oh, it'll probably do things like...
So Predator's gonna say, "Get over here" at some point.
Yeah. Oh my god! It'd be like, "Get over here." That's going to be really cool. Like,
what was the name of the guy? What was his name? That weird guy with the big blades on his arms.
Oh, Baraka.
Yeah, I want to see him go in a claw battle against Predator. That'll be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool. Because at Mortal Kombat 10, I'm in like, I can't wait for this game. And at the same time, like, I'm going to be a bit disappointed. Because there's certain characters that I love from Mortal Kombat that aren't in it. And I'm talking Smoke, Sector, Cyrax, Noob Saibot, Rain, Jade, and there's probably another one in there. And I'm thinking they really should be there. They should be there. There are achievements for Sector. Is it Cyrax? So using Cyrax bombs. So he could be in the game, but there's no proof. He hasn't released a gameplay of showing those ninja robots, and they're so cool. Yeah. They're like Scorpion and Sub-Zero to me. I love Sector.
They added a whole different dimension to it. The first two were very Shaolin monks and old spooky Asian temples, and then you just suddenly got this modern twist with these big cyborg things. Yeah.
I mean, what they should do is if they're going to do a cyborg pack where you get Sector, Cyrax, Smoke, and Sub-Zero as cyborgs. Yeah. I would be happy with that.
It looks like it's going to have. It looks like it's going to have a bit of an entertaining story. Or at least a funny one, at least with the Cage family. Johnny Cage got married to Sonya, then they split up, but they had a kid, and they still get angry at each other.
It's almost like Tekken.
But to be honest, if they can pull it off like they pulled off Injustice, the best thing about Injustice was the story mode to it.
Yeah.
If they can pull it off like that, it'll be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good game. I mean, they recently released this Gunslinger. That's a new character in the game. He's never been seen before. And his X-ray, he fires his gun, and it has the character's name written on the bullet. And it's just like, now that's cool. I like things like that. And he looked really cool. A few of them I'm not thinking about as one of the guys with a bow. He just looks so
Shaolin,
boring.
I think he's called.
Yeah, not interested. Not interested at all. I'd rather have Cyrax.
I like the idea that they're taking care of their online community as well by adding quitalities.
Yes! Yeah, that's
if someone
awesome.
quits in the middle of the match, rather than feeling frustrated, their head blows up, and you're like, yes, you've been rewarded for sticking around.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good game. It's out, I think it's out April 14th, if I'm right, or something like that. It's out in a few weeks, and it's definitely on my radar.
I'm sure they'll have one or two more reveals before then.
I hope so, and I really hope it is the cyborgs, because they need to be in the game. I mean, they got Jason Voorhees coming as a DLC character. Tremor.
I like the way they're having guest characters these days.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, I imagine they'll get Spawn in there maybe, and
Soul Calibur already had Spawn, didn't they?
Yeah,
Soul Calibur 2 had Spawn as a guest character.
And they're like, oh, this person could be in it, that person could be in it. And I was trying to think, like, the Terminator would be pretty cool. or something like that on his Terminator would be cool, because you could have Terminator versus Predator.
But the thing is, they've got to do it carefully. I'd hate to see the alien in there. I love the alien as a character, but I don't want to see him in a fighting game.
That would not work. That wouldn't work.
And they've put Jason in maybe because they already had Freddy, and I don't want them to do because they've got Predator. They'll fit Alien in. Predator kind of works because he's very combat focused. Yeah, and he's very honor focused as well, and he's a fighter.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things. It's hard to think what other characters would fit in that world. Obviously, they have a lot to think about. Creating all the different characters. And deciding what
Kratos wasn't Kratos
world.
In one of them. That was a stroke of genius.
Yeah, he was in the PS3 version, and it was funny because Kratos was on the PS3, but on Xbox they wanted to use Master Chief.
What? I was going to say Master Chief then.
Yeah,
jokingly.
I think that either Master Chief or Marcus Phoenix from Gears, somewhere along those lines. That
would be stupid.
And Microsoft said no. So
the only character I think you could maybe take from a sci-fi franchise would maybe be Isaac out of Dead Space, because he's in a world of brutal gore anyway. So it would make sense that he'd fall into maybe he falls through some kind of space-time portal or something and gets spat out. But yeah, he's used to blood and gore and horror.
I mean, it's weird. It's weird they had Scorpion in Injustice, wasn't it? Do you remember? They had him as a DLC. I was like,
it was a big celebration of NetherRealm Studios and what they did, but I think a few DC fanboys were a bit upset they didn't get an extra comic character.
Yeah, I'd rather an extra comic character than Scorpion, but then again, that's Mortal Kombat 10, and we've probably missed a lot. We haven't even spoke about Hardline either. There's so much to cover. Hardline summary. I've done a review on it. It's not worth picking up. It's not worth £50. It's technically a mod for Battlefield. You're better off sticking to Battlefield 4. That's all we've got to say. There you go. Sum that up quickly.
I have nothing to say.
Chris has nothing to say because he's not really interested in Battlefield. Yep. I think you'd be interested if it was more movie cops rather than TV cops. I think now in the solid tier.
I keep telling you. Yeah, I want RoboCop in Old Detroit. I want a Rush Hour level.
Yeah.
Where you got Chris Tucker just screaming. You had a good one. You had a good one with Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz, yeah. Summerfields. They need that. Summerfields and the town and the pub and all that. That's what Hotline should have been. But no, they went with shit TV, a bunch of freaking crap, Battlefield mod. Every single level in the multiplayer was boring, mundane, had no character, didn't really pay any homage to any crime films or anything like that. It was just all very, very plain and boring, and I really don't recommend it. And how this game sold more than Bloodborne is ridiculous. I don't get that. Bloodborne should be on the top spot, not Battlefield Hardline.
Because it's a big name. Bloodborne's kind of a brand new franchise, even though it's kind of a spin-off from the Soul ones. It's a new property and a new name.
Yeah, makes you sick.
So it gets
makes you sick. Anyway, we're at the end of the DeadCast. Oh my god, it's been a busy one.
Yeah.
I'm talking.
Well, we've been holding it in for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Now we explode like vomiting a rainbow.
Let's not do that again.
No, it's not. yeah, we'd have to more structure next time. We'll try and do that, but we're just very excitable. I'm very excitable. Chris has always got his feet on the ground. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this DeadCast. As always, I am Shaun of the Dead, and that is
Chris Sumner.
And we will see you in the next DeadCast, and we'll try and do it, if not next week, it'll be the week after. Until then, bye!
Bye!
Bye!